Hello, I'm Lola Stone and this is Handmade Originals. Now, my son has recently left home to go move in with some friends. Hello darling! That's embarrassed him for about a year. And when we were sorting out all of his things, we found in the bottom of his wardrobe a bag full of old school shirts. And I thought, brilliant, a lot of blank canvases for lots of bespoke projects, making shirts interesting and different and individual. So this is one of the shirts, and the first thing I did was unpick the collar because I wanted to have a mandarin collar on this particular one. So I'll take that off, and I also took off the pocket. The next thing I'm going to do is to shorten the length because I want to wear this, I don't know if you can see if I go on tiptoe, I want to wear it to about here, which is sort of just on my hip bone, so it tries to lengthen your leg and sort of covers up anything which is unpleasant in the middle. So that's the sort of length I wanted, but obviously you can make your shirt any length you like. And what I'm going to do, inspired by the dress which I made, which was the green dress with the black power mesh over the top with the applique. I so enjoyed doing the applique. I've never done it before, that dress, so I thought I'd have a go at doing it again, and I found something which actually makes attaching applique so much easier, that it's really good fun, and that's this stuff, which is heat bond. And what it is, if I can just show you, is basically, it's like interfacing, but it's like glue, a very thin layer of glue has been sprayed on this side, and on the other side is paper, which you can probably hear. Now, what you do, I'm going to use the same fabric that I used before for the roses, so I've cut out a variety of roses I'm thinking of using. So say for example this one, cut it out very roughly as you can see. So what I did was place it face up on the glue side of the heat bond paper, and the next thing you do is just cut roughly round it, trying not to leave too much of the white paper showing, and then you turn it over and you iron from the paper side to melt the glue, and it then attaches onto the back of your flower. Now, top tip here, because I totally destroyed my ironing board, I just cut round like that, leaving quite a lot of white paper showing, turned it over, ironed it, and then I ended up with a lot of glue stuck to the top of my ironing board. So what I suggest you do is, if you cut round like this, if you've got any white of the paper showing, then just get an old cloth, or the bit, what I eventually used was the bit of shirt which I cut off the bottom here. Use that so that if any, and then turn it over, use that underneath, so that if any of the glue comes off, it comes off on the spare bit of fabric and not onto the top of your ironing board. So that's that. Just toss that out of the way. And then when you've finished ironing it on, you then cut round it like this, so that you literally have just about 1 millimetre, maybe 2 millimetres of black all round the edge in my case. And then if you look on the other side, you can see this literally just peels off like that, and if you hope you can see from the shininess of it, that's now covered in glue. So what you've effectively done is create your own iron-on transfers. So then what you have to do is, if you haven't already done it, play around with what you're going to put where. So I thought I'd put one here. I'm going to put, I think, this one here, and I think I'm going to put this one here, something like that. And this is the fun part. You can just sort of play around, get very creative about where you want to put things. But what you will have to do before you iron them on is take them off and peel the paper off. So what I suggest you do before you take them away is pin them all into place. When you're satisfied where you want to put things, then, as I've done here, take a photograph, so that when you come to reposition them ready for ironing, you know exactly what went where, and you don't have to start the whole design process all over again. So I'm going to go away now and iron these on. Just want to tell you, with this one in the middle, in the same way with the Dolce & Gabbana inspired dress, I wanted to put this central piece so that part of it flapped over. And of course, if to get the shirt on, you need to be able to open that, so I can't glue that down there. So what I've done is I've put some interfacing on here. And if I could just show you the back of this one, I've taken the paper off. Can you see that this is the shiny glue bit here, and this is just interfacing, and I've literally just zigzagged around this side here, and then I'm going to glue this on, and then once it's glued onto the shirt, I'm then going to zigzag all the way around these edges to make sure they stay down and they don't curl up in the wash. Initially I was thinking that I was going to zigzag round first and then iron it on, but actually if you do that, I then subsequently realised that in zigzagging round you're covering up the glue which is on the edge of your applique, which means that it won't last very long when you put it in the wash because your edges are not glued down. So the only way of solving that is to actually go round all over again, but what I've decided to do is not do it that way in the first place, but to just iron down and then zigzag round using the shirt as the stabiliser. So that's what I'm going to do next, and I will come back and show you the shirt hopefully when it's finished. Here it is. I'm really pleased with the way this has turned out. This is one of my ta-da moments. So let me just show you inside the shirt. This is where I've used my covered buttons. This one is obviously a button that's used, and these are just for show. But really you can, because you're doing it yourself and designing it yourself, you can do what the heck you like. So you can see here, this is all ironed on, but I've zigzagged all the way round. And here's my little flap which has no glue to allow closure and opening at the front. I've also added some ribbons because, well, why the heck not? And on the back, I went a bit mad. I just love these roses, and I put a bit more ribbon in here. And also when I was cutting out these roses, I cut out these internal little bits here as well, which just I think somehow make it more interesting as an applique and not just a solid bit of fabric shoved on top of another piece of fabric. And then these ribbons here come round there and can just be glimpsed from the front. So there we have it, my son's old school shirt refashioned into something which I hope is quite cutting edge and different, and certainly totally unique. And I'm pleased to spot that I'm not the only one that likes this fashion, because in today's Sunday Times colour supplement I found Stella McCartney has the same idea. Here's her white shirt with a big floral applique on it, and apparently floral shirts are going to be the thing this summer. So here you are, get ahead of the curve, be totally unique, make your own handmade original.